A clinical process assigns a physiological state to every moment in a patient's trajectory. Each individual trajectory is a single path through the space of possible health states. Patient survival is a property of a trajectory. It either crosses the critical threshold or it does not. Expected outcome is a property of the patient population, not of any individual path. Patient survival is formally the event that organ reserve depletion never crosses the critical threshold. The critical threshold is the first moment the patient enters irreversible deterioration. Survival and expected clinical outcome are defined on different objects. They are not equivalent clinical criteria. Three clinical quantities are formally distinct: the expected biomarker value across the patient population at a fixed time, the probability of the individual patient surviving to that time, the long-run limit of the patient's physiological trajectory. None of these determines the others in a non-ergodic clinical system. A high expected population outcome does not constrain the individual patient's survival probability. Rare large positive outcomes in a minority of patients can sustain a high population mean, while most patient trajectories are absorbed into deterioration. Population expected outcome is an averaging operator. It does not constrain what happens to any individual patient. In a patient with zero remaining organ reserve, the expected population outcome may remain stable. Yet clinical ruin occurs with certainty over sufficient time when reserve variance is present. Stable population expected outcomes and certain individual ruin are not contradictory. They operate on different objects: population and individual trajectory. Expected population outcome does not imply individual patient survival. Positive mean trajectory does not prevent organ reserve depletion. These results hold from the structure of clinical dynamics. No utility theory or decision framework is required to establish them. Survival and expected outcome are structurally different clinical criteria. A treatment protocol that improves population means need not improve individual patient survival probability. These are different quantities requiring separate clinical evaluation.